There is a moment, just before a superyacht leaves the harbor, when the world seems to hold its breath. But here is the truth the brochures won't tell you. You can buy a $500 million hull, but you're still the same person standing on the deck. It's a floating paradox, a masterpiece of engineering designed to help you escape the world, while requiring a small army of people just to keep it afloat. As I've stood on these docks and watched these giants depart, I've realized that if you look closer, you don't see a symbol of victory. You see a fortress of insecurity. The engines hum, the water ripples, and a vessel worth hundreds of millions quietly slips away from the land where the rest of us live our ordinary lives. For most people, a yacht is a symbol of wealth. But for the billionaires who build them, these floating palaces are something far more personal, a mirror reflecting their ambitions, insecurities, and the psychological transformation that comes with having more money than time. Because the truth is, wealth doesn't actually solve the noise within, it just provides a more expensive room in which to hear it. The pursuit of silence. To understand superyachts is to understand the modern pursuit of freedom. As I watch these vessels drift away from the shore, I can't help but wonder what truly drives someone to build a floating palace. Is it freedom? Is it power? Or is it something far more human, a desire to escape the noise of the world and the noise within ourselves? A superyacht is not just a boat, it is a declaration. It says, I have gone as far as the world will allow me to go. But beneath the polished teak decks and marble interiors lies a deeper truth. These vessels are built not only to impress others, but to silence the noise within. Many billionaires describe the sea as the only place where they can think clearly, where the endless horizon gives them a sense of control that even their empires cannot. Out here, surrounded by nothing but water and sky, they confront the same questions that haunt every human being. Who am I when the world is not watching? What does success mean when I already have everything? What does success mean when I already have everything? But to maintain that everything requires something most owners refuse to look at, a shadow that follows them across the ocean. The shadow vessel. Yet behind the elegance of these vessels lies an astonishing feat of human engineering. A modern superyacht is a floating city, powered by engines the size of small apartments and stabilizers that counter the movement of the ocean with the precision of a surgeon's hand. Hundreds of kilometers of wiring run beneath the floors, feeding everything from underwater lighting to satellite communication systems that keep the owner connected to the world they are trying to escape. These yachts are not built, they are engineered into existence, piece by piece, by thousands of hands and minds working in perfect synchrony. They represent the pinnacle of human ambition, a reminder that even the sea can be shaped by those who refuse to accept limits. But here's what fascinates me. In 2026, the yacht itself isn't enough. Many owners now deploy a shadow vessel, a second ship that follows at a distance to carry the helicopters and the 20-man security detail. To me, this is the ultimate luxury, not having what you want, but making sure you don't have to look at the people providing it. It is a multi-million-dollar investment in the illusion of being alone. And the first time I stood beside one of these giants, I realized something. You don't just look at a superyacht, you feel it. The scale, the precision, the sheer audacity of its design hits you in the chest. It makes you question what kind of mind imagines something like this, and then actually brings it to life. In that moment, I understood that these vessels aren't just built for the sea, they're built to challenge the limits of human imagination. However, imagination isn't the only thing being challenged. To stay in this floating paradise, you have to fight a war against a force that even the world's richest men cannot bribe: financial gravity. Life aboard a superyacht is a study in contrasts. On one hand, it is the pinnacle of luxury: private cinemas, underwater lounges, helipads, spas, and crews trained to anticipate desires before they are spoken. But on the other hand, it is a floating bubble of isolation. Billionaires often speak about the strange quiet that settles in after a few days at sea, a quiet that forces them to face the ambitions that drove them here in the first place. Some find peace in that silence. Others find restlessness. Because ambition, once awakened, never truly sleeps. Even on a yacht, the mind drifts back to the next deal, the next acquisition, the next mountain to climb. People who've spent time on these vessels have told me the same thing: the silence is both a gift and a burden. It's strange how the ocean can make even the most powerful people confront the parts of themselves they try hardest to outrun. The financial gravity. But behind every moment of effortless luxury lies a financial gravity that even billionaires cannot ignore. A superyacht is not just purchased, it must be fed. The rule of the sea is simple. Whatever the yacht costs to build, expect to spend 10% of that amount every single year just to keep it alive. A $200 million vessel demands nearly $20 million annually in fuel, crew salaries, maintenance, docking fees, insurance, and the quiet, invisible army of engineers who keep its systems running. Even a single day at sea can burn through tens of thousands in fuel alone. And yet, for the owners, these costs are not burdens but reminders that freedom, at this level, is never free. It requires constant investment, constant attention, and a willingness to pour money into a dream that floats between the worlds of indulgence and escape. When I first learned the numbers behind these ships, I was stunned. Not because of the money itself, but because of what it represents, the price of maintaining a dream that most people will never even step foot on. It made me realize that even at the highest levels of wealth, nothing is ever truly effortless. For many crew members, the yacht becomes both a workplace and a world. They witness the owners at their most unguarded, moments of joy, frustration, loneliness, and vulnerability that the public never sees. They learn to read moods the way sailors read the wind, adjusting their movements to maintain the illusion of effortless perfection. And yet, beneath the professionalism, they carry their own dreams, saving for a home, supporting families oceans away, or simply searching for a sense of belonging in a life defined by constant motion. In their stories, the yacht becomes not a symbol of wealth, but a vessel of human longing. Hearing their stories changed the way I see these yachts. Behind every polished surface is a human being carrying their own hopes, sacrifices, and quiet battles. It reminded me that luxury is always built on layers of invisible labor. Perhaps the strangest part of this world is how often these masterpieces sit empty. A $300 million vessel might spend 50 weeks a year docked in a harbor, fully staffed, engines idling, chefs waiting for a call that never comes. It is a ghost ship, a monument to a dream that the owner is too busy to actually live. They work 100-hour weeks to pay for a sanctuary they only visit for 10 days. It's the ultimate irony of the superyacht. The more successful you are, the less time you have to enjoy the fruit of that success. If you could see them all at once, the thousands of superyachts currently sitting idle in the marinas of Monaco, Antigua, and Montenegro, you wouldn't see a fleet. You would see a $100 billion parking lot. A massive, silent warehouse of unused potential, where the air conditioning is kept at exactly 21 degrees Celsius for owners who may never arrive. It is the only place on Earth where waiting is a multi-million-dollar industry. But in 2026, the Mediterranean lifestyle is dying. The world's elite are no longer chasing the sun, they are heading into the ice, and the reason why says everything about the shift in billionaire psychology. Yet the true cost of these vessels extends far beyond money. Every journey leaves a footprint on the ocean itself. A single week at sea can burn more fuel than an average family uses in a year. The generators that power the pools, cinemas, and climate-controlled wine cellars hum day and night, feeding on resources the planet can scarcely afford to spare. Even the paint that keeps the hull pristine carries chemicals that disrupt marine ecosystems. For all their beauty, superyachts are reminders of a difficult truth. Luxury, at this scale, is never gentle. It takes from the world even as it tries to rise above it. The vibe shift. The psychology of extreme wealth is complex. Many of these yacht owners grew up with very little. Their success is not just financial, it is emotional, a way of proving to themselves that they have outrun their past. The yacht becomes a symbol of that transformation, a physical manifestation of the distance between who they were and who they have become. I've noticed a shift in the psychology here. The modern billionaire isn't just lounging in the Mediterranean. They are commissioning expedition yachts, ice-breaking fortresses designed for the North Pole. They aren't chasing the sun anymore, they are chasing the unreachable. It's no longer about proving you are rich, it's about proving you are untouchable by the elements. Yet the irony is that the farther they sail from their origins, the more they feel the pull of the questions they tried to escape. The sea has a way of stripping away illusions. It reminds even the richest among us that we are small, temporary, and fragile. The more I explored this world, the more I realized that wealth doesn't erase the human condition, it amplifies it. The ocean becomes a mirror, reflecting not just who they are, but who they fear becoming. Because beneath the layers of luxury, the real reason billionaires buy superyachts is surprisingly human. It is not about showing off, at least, not entirely. It is about control in a world that constantly demands pieces of them. It is about creating a space where they can rewrite the rules, where the pressures of leadership, expectation, and legacy momentarily dissolve into the horizon. But there's a darker reason for the shift to the Arctic. In the circles of the ultra-wealthy, these ice-breaking expedition yachts aren't just for vacations. They are seen by some as the ultimate plan B if the world on land becomes too loud, too unstable, or too dangerous. The yacht is the only asset you can actually move. It's not just a palace, it's a getaway driver with a 5,000-mile range. But there is also beauty in this vulnerability. On a calm morning, when the sun rises over the water and the world feels untouched, many yacht owners describe a sense of clarity they cannot find anywhere else. It is in these moments that ambition softens into reflection. They think about legacy, about the people they love, about the time they cannot buy back. The sea becomes a teacher, offering lessons that no boardroom ever could. It teaches patience, humility, and the understanding that true wealth is measured not in possessions, but in presence. Yet, even in the middle of the ocean, true presence is impossible if you can still be tracked. To find real peace, these ships have had to become more than palaces, they've become ghosts. The digital citadel. But perhaps the most valuable feature of a superyacht is not its size or its splendor, but its secrecy. These vessels operate in a world where privacy is the ultimate currency. Ownership is often hidden behind layers of offshore companies, shell structures, and legal veils designed to keep curious eyes at bay. On land, billionaires are public figures. At sea, they become ghosts. The ocean offers a kind of invisibility that no mansion, no private jet, no gated estate can provide. It is a sanctuary where they can disappear, not from the world, but from the weight of being known. But today, that invisibility must be digital. Modern yachts are now digital citadels. We aren't just talking about a do not disturb sign, we are talking about military-grade signal jammers and FLIR cameras that scan the horizon for paparazzi drones. At land, their data is harvested like everyone else's. At sea, they pay a king's ransom to exist in a zero-signal vacuum. It is a sanctuary where the only algorithm that matters is the one calculating the depth of the water beneath the keel. This makes the line between luxury and survival surprisingly thin. Out here, the ocean offers freedom, but it also exposes vulnerability, requiring some vessels to be equipped with missile detection technology and panic rooms. For the crew, life at sea is a different kind of transformation. They live in the background, moving silently through the vessel like the gears of a finely tuned machine. Their lives are shaped by discipline, service, and sacrifice. Many spend months away from their families, navigating the emotional tides of isolation and duty. Yet they, too, speak of the sea as a place of growth, a place where they learn resilience, adaptability, and the art of reading people as carefully as they read the weather. But there is a darker side to this service. It's called the Golden Handcuff, a non-disclosure agreement so ironclad that a crew member can be sued for millions just for mentioning the name of a guest or a brand of champagne served. On these vessels, you don't just sell your labor, you sell your memories. You see the world's most powerful people at their lowest, weeping over a divorce, screaming over a lost deal, or staring blankly at the horizon for hours, and you have to carry those secrets to your grave. It raises the question, who is really trapped? The billionaire in his fortress, or the crew who can never speak of what happens within its walls? I've spoken to former stews who have had to sign NDAs just to enter a room to clean it. They aren't just protecting a brand, they are protecting a myth. Because if the world knew that the untouchable titan of industry spends his nights at sea crying over his legacy, the stock price might just drop along with the anchor. As the yacht cuts through the open ocean, a strange paradox emerges. The billionaire on the top deck and the deckhand polishing the railings below are both searching for something: stability, purpose, identity. The sea does not care about their differences. It offers the same horizon to both. And perhaps that is why these vessels hold such fascination for the rest of us. They are symbols of a life we imagine to be perfect, yet they reveal truths that are universally human. In the end, the world of billionaire superyachts is not just about wealth. It is about the human desire to rise above limitations, to carve out a space where we can breathe, think, and dream without interruption. It is about ambition, the force that drives us forward, and the transformation that occurs when we finally reach the summit we once thought was impossible. But it is also a reminder that no matter how far we sail, we are always navigating the deeper waters within ourselves. But eventually, the steel begins to rust and the trend moves on. I've seen these once mighty titans sold for scrap or left to rot in backwater marinas once the owner passes away. It's a sobering reminder that you can't take the hull with you. For all the sonar, the signal jammers, and the armor plating, no yacht has ever been built that can outrun the final horizon. As the years pass, many yacht owners begin to see their vessels not as trophies, but as markers of time. The polished railings, the worn steps, the familiar creak of the hull, all become reminders of summers spent with family, of friendships forged at sea, of moments that money alone could never create. And in quiet moments, some admit that the yacht represents something deeper, a desire to leave a trace, to carve their initials into the vastness of the world before the tide of time washes everything away. After everything I've learned, I'm left with my own questions, not about wealth, but about freedom. About what it really means to step away from the world and face yourself without distraction. And so, as the yacht disappears into the horizon, we are left with a question. If you had all the freedom in the world, what would you do with it? Because in the end, the sea reveals not the life of the billionaire, but the truth about our own desires, our own ambitions, and the journey we are all still on. The paradox remains. We build the biggest ships in the world to find the smallest bit of peace. And as the horizon swallows the hull, you realize, the water is deep, but the human heart is deeper. At 1% Billionaires, we don't just highlight wealth, we reveal the essence of the 1%. Our mission is to narrate and curate the finest examples of luxury living, showcasing the comfort, style, and legacy behind every choice, brand, and experience. We believe in narrate, don't just showcase, because true luxury is more than possessions. It is a story of elegance, exclusivity, and timeless sophistication. Every image becomes a narrative, and every detail a chapter in the billionaire lifestyle. The perspectives we share are original and not found anywhere else on YouTube or social media. They are meticulously crafted by our human team to inspire, captivate, and elevate your imagination.